our final act here on the first portion this afternoon, so let's make the timber ring with Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys. Yes, sir! Yeah!
Howdy, folks, howdy. We're really glad to be here with you today and glad to see a nice crowd out for the show. And before we start, I'll call off the names of all of the group here so you'll know them and where they're from. On the right-hand side from North Carolina is Bessie the Carolina Songbird. Then, thank you. And then on the right-hand side here we have Billy Baker from the state of Virginia. We're glad to have him. On the left-hand side from Tennessee, here's Bobby Smith. And on the corners, Tony Ellis. Let's give them all a nice hand. Come on. And it's good to be up here on the Bluegrass Day here. I believe this is my first appearance here, but we would like to come back again sometime. And it's good to see a lot of the old-timers that I've started on the Grand Ole Opry. Some wonderful fellas. And I'm going to have a couple of them come out on the stage a little bit later and do a couple of numbers with me. We're ready to start right now with one of my own numbers. It's a fiddle number entitled The Panhandle Country. Thank you. I appreciate the nice hand from you. That's the only way we can tell if you're liking our picking and singing here today, and we want you to enjoy it. I have some solo numbers now I'd like to start with. We've had a lot of requests since we've been here, and this will be the first one I got to travel on. I've laid around and played around this old town alone. Summer's almost gone, yes, the winter's coming on. I've laid around and played around. thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. I got to travel on. I'd like to do some of the numbers we had requests for here today. And let's see, we have a number called Blue Moon of Kentucky. Don't know if you ever heard that or not. That's Elvis Presley's first number that he ever recorded. Blue Moon of Kentucky, and I'm proud of that number. We hope you like it here today. Blue shine on the one that's gone and proved untrue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna left me blue. It is on a moonlight night, this star shining bright. They whispered from high, all of us said goodbye. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna say goodbye. And now here's one of our latest releases on record. And I'm entitled Put My Rubber Doll Away. We hope you like it. Once I had a blue-eyed darling, sweeter than my life could be, who used to kiss and call me daddy. She was such sweet company. Fate one day decreed to take her, and before she went away, she called me to her darling bedside, and I heard her softly say, my rubber doll, please keep it, daddy. Never let it run away. When I'm gone, we'll be in heaven. Put my rubber doll away. I recall my saddest hour when I heard my baby say, after I have left you, daddy, put my rubber doll away. Her rubber doll, I'll keep it safely in my heart and memory. Just a simple rubber dolly was what my baby left with me. I pray that God in His tender mercy, when I leave this world behind, will take me to that precious jewel, that darling baby girl of mine. My rubber doll, please keep it, daddy. Never let it run away. When I'm gone, we'll be in heaven. Put my rubber doll away. You know, I hear a lot about them putting on bluegrass days up through this country up here and all over in different states. And to know that I started it and not get to be on it, well, it really makes you feel a little bit lonesome maybe on Sunday when they're doing that. And it's really a pleasure to be here today. You don't know how it does make me feel to get to be on this show, and we hope you're all enjoying it. We do have some wonderful boosters of bluegrass music. I've been helped a lot in that way now with bluegrass music. Fellows like Shorty Hangin, Bill Clifton here, and a lot of fellows like that. And DJs throughout the country, and I can't remember the names. That's my worst trouble. I can't remember names very good. But they've been a big help in the way of bluegrass. And lots of the folks are here today. One little lady's here from Starday there in Nashville, Tennessee. She's a little English girl. I can't remember her name. Her first name's Dixon. We're glad to have her. Wonderful little girl. And I know I'm going to meet a lot of more folks that's way up in the world when it comes to helping promote music throughout the country. And Starday is 70% bluegrass music, too. Their record company there, and I'm glad to hear that. I have a little mandolin number now. I do a little something else besides sing. I can play mandolin a little bit. And I'm going to try Rawhide here today. I don't know whether I'll make it or not, but... Thank you. I believe we've got about 3 more shows to go here now, today and tonight, and we'll be back with you a little bit later on to do some numbers. We're going to fill a lot of requests the next time I come on the stage here. And right now, Linda Lou is the Queen of West Virginia. All right, while the boys are getting ready back there to come out and help me a little bit, we'll do this number. Last year we worked a place up here, and Don Reno and Red Smiley was on the show, some bluegrass talent. And Don is a big booster of bluegrass music, and if I play a show and he don't get on my program, it's a wonder. And he was right out there to help me. Mac Wiseman come out and done some numbers. It's a shame a lot of bluegrass people, you know, that thinks they don't want to be on the show with you or something, that the folks will think you started them. Well, it's the truth, so they shouldn't mind that, and they should be glad that they got to start. They'd have probably had to pull out a lot of furs if they hadn't been in bluegrass music. Let's see now, I'll try to do Linda Lou for you. In the state of West Virginia, among the peaceful rolling hills, there I met a mountain maid with eyes of blue. Golden hair so soft and curly, and her eyes were like the dew. She was the Queen of West Virginia, and her name name was Linda Lou. Linda Lou, my Linda Lou, can't you hear me calling you? Calling like a lonesome dove, my Linda Lou. When the moon is in the blue and the stars are shining too, can't you hear my lonely heart calling for you, Linda Lou? Well, I recall the night I met her when I held your hand in mine. I recall the night we kissed and said adieu. Many miles may separate us if I should cross the ocean blue. My heart is still in West Virginia with my darling Linda Lou. Linda Lou, my Linda Lou, can't you hear me calling you? Calling like a lonesome dove, my Linda Lou. When the moon is in the blue and the stars are shining too, can't you hear my lonely heart calling for you, Linda Lou? All right, we're going to call on one of the fellas now that used to work with me on the Grand Ole Opry. A wonderful feller, made one of as good a bluegrass boys as I ever had in my life. Could really handle that guitar and stood right in beside of me. And we're glad to have him here today. He's been out and done his program, but he's going to do a couple of numbers with me. We've had a lot of requests for one called Sugar Coated Love. And his name is Carter Stanley. Let's give him a nice hand here today. What do you say? Carter, you hurry and get up here. Sugar Coated Love, they tell me that they use it a lot over here on one of the stations. It's a number that's been out by the Bluegrass Boys about 10 or 12 years. I know you were going to call on me first. Carter, we're glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure to be here, especially with you.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that.
I said it a while ago.
Thank you.
I still say it. You feeling good?
Yes, sir, I'm feeling fine here today.
Bill, you know, one thing that makes me feel especially good is looking at all these folks that are here to see what I call the real thing. I guess I'll just break into this kind of blunt like. I understand that there was a group that some of the folks asked to come in here today. They said no, they didn't want to play here because Bill Monroe and the Stanley brothers was going to be here. And that was Flat and Scruggs. You know, we missed them a heck of a lot, ain't we?
Yeah, we have.
Huh? All right.
It's your show.
Go on.
Well, you're talking about Lester Earl. Now, I started at the two boys on the Grand Ole Opry, and you shouldn't be ashamed to come on the show and work with us.
That's right.
That's right, boy. And I sure wouldn't hurt either one of them. Carter, it's good to have you here, and I'd like to do a number that my boys here don't know. Me and you recorded this number called Sugar Coated Love.
That's right.
You say you are leaving me for another man. He has all the wealth, charm, and not my kind of bread. Baby, I fell down on my knees to plead for your love. Sugar-coated love, you gave me on a plate. I took a bite and then I looked to see what I had ate. And I had a cinder all covered up in white. That old sugar-coated love is something I can't buy. You called me your sugar plum, your baby and your pet. You said I was your Romeo and you my Juliet. Well, I thought you were an angel, my little sugar dove. You sure had me fooled there with that sugar-coated love. Sugar-coated love, you gave me on a plate. I took a Thank you. Thank you a lot. Now, that's the way you should give a fellow a hand when you're working for him. Now we picked out a hymn here. There, we tore the Stanley brothers up right there. Carter will have to go to work for me. We're going to do a hymn here that I recorded back in 1935. It's entitled... I recorded with a brother of mine, Charlie Monroe, and it's entitled... What Would You Give in Exchange for Your Soul?
Let's lower this thing down a little bit, Bill. I want them to hear me real good. Okay. You're a little too tall. Brothers afar from the Savior today, risking your soul for the thing that decay. Oh, if today God should call you away, what would you give in exchange for your soul? What would you give in exchange? What would you give in exchange? What would you give in exchange for your soul? Oh, if today God to call you away, what would you give in exchange for your soul? Mercy is calling you, won't you give aid? Must the dear Savior still tenderly plead? Risk not your soul, it is precious indeed. What would you give in exchange for your soul? What would you give in exchange? What would you give in exchange? What would you give in exchange for your soul? Oh, if today God to call you away, what would you give in exchange for your soul? Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, Carter Stanley. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's a good thing you got in there and sung, because we got another fella coming out and sing too. We're glad to be on the show with this fella, glad to have him here, and he's another fella that anytime we get together, if it's down at the Grand Ole Opry, the back of stage or something, me and him is always together singing a duet. And the number we're going to do for you here today is the number we generally always sing. Mac Wiseman, let's give him a nice hand. What do you say? Mac, I wish I had a pretty coat like you've got. We look just alike then.
Wish this boy had a long guitar string, I tell you that. What'd you do with them fat guitar pickers you had, Bill? There you go. Oh, he wasn't taking no chances. Let's do this one especially, Bill, for a real booster of country music up in Orange, Massachusetts. Bill Sykes down visiting with us today. Came a long way just to see fellas like you here on the show. So we'll do this one with him, all right?
What key is it? Can't you hear me calling? Yeah, G. Can you start it first, Tom?
Sweetheart of mine, can't you have me calling? How many times I've loved you bad? I mistreated you, Lord, and I'm sorry. Come back to me as my request.
forget the day you left me. How big mistake it caused you all. If you come back, sunshine will follow. If you stay away, that will be my fault. Sweetheart of mine, can you hear me calling? How many times I've loved you bad. I mistreated you, Lord, and I'm sorry. Come back to me is my request. The days are long, the nights are lonely. Since you left me all alone, I worried so, my little darling. I worried so since you've been gone. Sweetheart of mine, can you hear me calling? A million times I've loved you bad. I mistreated you, Lord, and I'm sorry. Come back to me is my request. Yeah, give us one more good one. What'll it be? Yeah. Now I think that's the best bluegrass duet number that I've ever heard. I really like Can't You Hear Me Calling? And we hope you. We'd like to turn that record over. It's an old record, and do the other side. Number and title, Travelin' That Lonesome Road. Do the Country Bill. I'm traveling down this lonesome road, oh, how I hate to go. The wind and storm are raging high, and it's awful cold. My mind drifts back to you, sweetheart, and I love you so. But now you're gone and left me here, travel this lonesome road. I'm traveling down this lonesome road, oh, how I hate to go. It's a long time, is it? The wind and storm are raging high, and it's awful cold. My mind drifts back to you, sweetheart, but I love you so. But now you're gone and left me here to travel this lonesome road. You know this chord? Let's sing the chord again. All right. I've traveled down this lonesome road, oh, how I hate to go. The wind and storm are raging high, and it's awful cold. My mind drifts back to you, sweetheart, and I love you so. But now you're gone and left me here to travel this lonesome road. Well, let's see here. I imagine our time's about run out here. The wheel horse. We had some folks down from New Jersey, up in that part of the country. Up where old Tex Logan lives, a fellow that rode to Christmas Time's Coming. I know you remember that. And we're glad you fellows are down this way. Tell Tex I said hello. Let's see, how long we've been going. Whitehouse Blues, I promised some folks would do that. Can you pick that, Tony? The Whitehouse Blues. I don't know what numbers have been used on the show here today, but we'll go right along with the Whitehouse here. McKinley, I hollered, McKinley, squad. Doc said, McKinley, I can't find her, 'cause you're bound to die. You're bound to die. Doc told her, oh, horse you got to outrun the train from Buffalo to Washington. Now come a runner and he took off his specs. He said, Mr. McKinley, better cash in your check. You're bound to die. You're bound to die. He's taking his rest, he's gone for a long time. The wheel horse, we'll have to get that the next time we're out here. Our time's run out here, but we've enjoyed it a lot. We would like to make a little announcement right here. We have some of the Grand Ole Opry history and storybooks with us here today, and the book sells for $1. And it's got pictures of everybody that's ever worked on the Grand Ole Opry, and it's a wonderful book to have in your home. We'd like you to have one. We have a few left here, and they're only $1. We hope you've enjoyed our program here. We'll be back with you a little bit later on for another one. Don't forget us on the Grand Ole Opry, and don't forget that the Bluegrass Boys record for Decca. You'll find the most popular numbers on that label. It's a pleasure to be working with Jim and Jesse, and the Stanley brothers, Bill Clifton, Mac Wiseman, all the gang here today. We've enjoyed a lot in speaking for all the gang here. Now it's time we say, y'all come. Y'all come. Y'all come. Oh, you all come since when you can. Y'all come. Y'all come. Oh, you all come since when you can.